My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of The Witcher: The Nightmare of the Wolf. Now, I'm not a die-hard Witcher fan. I haven't read the books, and I never will. I haven't played the PS4 game, but I do plan on it one day. And I just finished watching season 1 of the TV show, and I thought it was okay. Henry Cavill easily being the best part of it. So I'm not a die-hard fan of this franchise, but I still went into this movie optimistically, and I was let down by it. I think just on a general note, movies are typically about an hour and a half long to 3 hours, and they take full advantage of their one time. TV shows do the same thing. They take full advantage of their one time, but they're much longer. Typically now you get 10-hour-long episodes in a season. Like, TV shows are just getting crazy long and there's no consistency. Like, I want to watch Succession right now, but each episode's like an hour and 5, an hour and 10 minutes, and that's just crazy. Anyways, I'm getting way off topic. But for a TV show that has hour-long episodes and have a spin-off movie that's an hour and 20 minutes long, it doesn't really feel like a movie. It just feels like another episode. Now, to state the obvious, this movie is animated. The TV show is live action, so you can easily tell the two apart. But still, it still feels like an episode of it. Just an extra long episode of the show that just happens to be animated. It just feels like one of those episodes. Like, have you seen The Haunting of Bly Manor? Great TV show. The second last episode of that show goes into a backstory of certain characters and all that, and it's a really good episode. But this movie just feels like an episode of The Witcher that does that. That just goes into the backstory of a character that I guess we're going to meet in season 2. It just feels like a filler episode of a TV show, and it's a movie. Like, if you watch some of those DC animated movies that go straight to video, some of them feel really big and cinematic, like Batman Under the Red Hood, Justice League, Crisis on Two Earths. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker is an excellent movie, and all those premiere directly on video. So if those movies can feel big and cinematic and still premiere on video, then this movie should have been able to as well, and it does. I just had zero investment in these characters. There's a friendship slash romance slash I don't know what to call it between two characters, a boy and a girl, and that storyline should have had a huge emotional impact, but it just did nothing for me. It didn't hit me in any way emotionally. And even there's a moment where there's a good Witcher and a bad Witcher, and they're having a fight, and the bad Witcher trained the good Witcher, and that's a good storyline right there. Like, whenever it's like teacher versus student or mentor versus protege, like, I love those kind of plot devices. And when done well, they can have a huge emotional impact. Like, look at Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. They're doing all the fancy lightsaber moves, but at the end of the fight, when Anakin is lying there and Obi-Wan's just like, I loved you! You were my brother, Anakin! You felt it! You felt it!
You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
In Invincible, when Mark has to fight Omni-Man, it is so emotional and intense and thrilling. You just get none of that here. I should have been invested in these characters, but emotionally, it just left me completely empty. There's also one character named Tetra, and it just kept distracting me because she looked exactly how Yennefer looked in the TV show, and it's just like, oh, she's not Yennefer. Nope, she's not Yennefer. But every time you look at her, like, she looked like Yennefer, so I just found that to be a distracting element. But I will say that Theo James did a really good job in this movie. I don't really remember the Divergent movies. I think I liked the first one, and I remember hating 2 and 3. But I remember one good thing of 2 and 3 were Theo James. I'm glad to see him get an opportunity here, and I thought he did fine on the wall. He kind of reminded me of Nathan Fillion here. He just has that kind of energy and charisma. So I'd like to see him do more stuff in his career, because I do think he's talented. I will also say that I like the creature design, and my goodness, this movie is really bloody. Like, some of these animated movies in terms of blood and gore can really go there, and this movie does. Right when it starts off, you're just like, oh, I'm in for a bloody good time. Ha 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 ha. Bloody time? Yes. Good time? Not really. I don't really have much to say on this movie. I just found it to be a really dull, unremarkable piece of storytelling that didn't compel me. It didn't get me emotionally invested. It wasn't thrilling or intense. There's worse things I could have spent this time doing, but I can't say that I like this movie at all either. Will I ever think about this movie again? Definitely not. Will I ever watch this movie again? Definitely not. So I'm gonna go ahead and give The Ritual: Nightmare of the Wolf a 4 out of 10. Okay, did you watch this movie? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.